In his first statement in Parliament today on the situation along the line of actual control between the militaries of India and China, Rajnath Singh sent out a clear, no-nonsense message to this other side. India wants peace, but is completely battle-ready. But while India thwarts China's designs, the opposition in India has been gunning for the Modi government. Can our netas unite against China? Rahul Srivastav and Anand Patel with today's report.
बीते समय में भी चीन के साथ हमारे बॉर्डर एरियाज में लंबे स्टैंड ऑफ्स की स्थिति यह कई बार बनी है, जिसका शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से समाधान भी किया गया था। फिर भी हम मौजूदा स्थिति के शांतिपूर्ण समाधान के लिए पूरी तरह से कमिटेड हैं। इसके साथ साथ मैं सदन को आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं कि हम सभी परिस्थितियों से निपटने के लिए भी तैयार हैं।
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh spells out India's resolve in no uncertain terms in the government's first statement on the Ladakh face-off in Parliament. It comes even as China is amassing troops in eastern Ladakh, an indication the standoff might not end anytime soon. The minister said China was constantly trying to change the status quo along the LAC, and every bid has been foiled by the Indian forces.
मई महीने के मध्य में चाइना द्वारा वेस्टर्न सेक्टर में कई स्थानों पर LAC पर ट्रांसग्रेशन करने की कोशिश की गई। इसमें कोंकाला, गोगरा एंड पेंगोंग लेक का नॉर्थ बैंक शामिल है। इन कोशिशों को हमारी सेनाओं ने समय पर देख लिया तथा उसके लिए आवश्यक जवाबी कार्रवाई भी की है। हमारे
Rajnath Singh in his statement made three key points. The Chinese created a violent face-off on June 15th in Galwan. Our soldiers laid down their lives, protecting our land, and inflicted heavy costs on the Chinese side. There are many friction points in eastern Ladakh, including Gogra, Konkla, and Pangong Lakes north and south banks.
हमें सदन के अंदर नहीं बोलने दिया। हम जानते हैं ये सरकार डरते हैं, अगर कांग्रेस कोई सवाल पूछ दे, पूछने से जवाब तो नहीं है, क्या कहेंगे? प्रधानमंत्री जी क्यों आज नदारत रहे जब इतने बड़े रेजोल्यूशन उन्हीं की सरकार ला रहे हैं, वो भी हिंदुस्तान की पार्लियामेंट में, क्योंकि उनका डर है।
And in his meeting with the Chinese Defence Minister, Rajnath Singh clearly stated, while India has a responsible approach towards border management, it is determined to protect its sovereignty and territorial integrity. The Defence Minister's statement, however, did not satisfy the opposition. The Congress, which has been pressing for a discussion on the LAC standoff, walked out questioning Prime Minister Narendra Modi's absence from Parliament.
यहाँ पर पॉलिटिकल लीडरशिप की सरासर नाकामी है और मोदी सरकार की के ही वजह से जो 20 हमारे बहादुर सिपाहियों की मौत हुई, उसका जिम्मेदार मोदी सरकार है। और आज जितने भी हालात वहाँ पर हो रहे हैं कि क्या हम 1000 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर पर जो हम पेट्रोलिंग करते थे, आज वो हम नहीं कर सक रहे पेट्रोलिंग।
It was a tightrope walk for the centre. A strong worded statement lauding the brave Jawans at LAC, yet making sure the window of dialogue with the Chinese remains open. But the Congress party, dismayed at being disallowed the opportunity to ask questions. Although a disoriented opposition made the day easier for the Treasury benches. With camera person Ravi Kant, this is Anand Patel in New Delhi for India Today.
So you've heard the highlights of what Rajnath Singh said, but there was a lot to read between the lines, especially in the Defence Minister's body language. Remember, this is a politician who's not given to extremes of emotion. He speaks in a very moderate tone. He never in public gives out how he's actually feeling. Today happened to be a day when he actually did. There was a note of visible disgust in Rajnath Singh's body language, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you agree with me. I've interacted with him. There was disgust in Rajnath Singh's tone. There was also a very combative edge to what he was saying when he was talking about the Chinese intrusions and violations, saying that India is completely battle ready. That is something few people have seen Rajnath be in public before. He talked about the pride about the armed forces uniting as far as Parliament and the public is concerned because of what lies ahead. And finally, he did strike a note of peace. This is the kind of person that Rajnath Singh is. He likes talking about peace and harmony, and he said India is committed to peace, but forces are completely battle ready for any kind of situation. There are some areas that Rajnath Singh also avoided. I'll cover those in just a moment, but I want to introduce onto our panel here on News Track this evening to discuss this issue threadbare. Pawan Khera, national spokesperson of the Congress Party. We also have with us GVL Narasimha Rao of the BJP, and we have Lieutenant General Syed Ata Hasnain, former General Officer Commanding of the 15 Corps in Jammu and Kashmir. So, gentlemen, good evening and thank you for being with me. I'd like to start with the soldier before I go to the netas. General Hasnain, your assessment of the Raksha Mantri's statement today in Parliament, sir. We'll get to the politics in just a moment, but as a soldier, as a commander, what did you think? Because the operational mobilization is on. We know there is a lot of uncertainty in the air, but the Raksha Mantri did make a 25-minute statement in Parliament today. Your view?
Yes, Chef, there's no doubt about it. This was the most comprehensive statement that the government has made. I thought it was very appropriately done, although you have pointed out a lot of observations in the headlines itself about the manner in which Mr. Rajnath Singh actually spoke it.
Yes.
We will discuss that subsequently. But the content, as a soldier, I can say as the content was putting the facts on paper. It was putting the facts appropriately to the nation, because it's the first time you found that actually from the government a proper communication to the nation had been made.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very comprehensively done, drawing out the whole history of the entire border dispute, where India's stand is, what the problems from Chinese side are, what finally actually happened this year in the month of April. I thought it was quite well lined out, and at the same time also projection was correct that we have taken the right actions to ensure the security of the borders.
Yes.
And that through winter this situation will continue. And at the last, what you said, that he sounded a note of peace. Despite all this, he sounded a note of peace.
Okay, so that's the soldier's view. I want to go straight across first to Pawan Khera of the Congress Party. Pawanji, where did you think that this particular statement was lacking? You know, I'm going to also run some graphics of our own view on India Today on some areas that we thought that the defense minister avoided. We've also provided some reasons. But over to you, what did you think of the statement? Because Rajnath Singh has also appealed not once, not twice, but 3 times in that speech for unity of purpose on this issue.
Just because Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji questioned Mr. Nehru in the middle of action in 1962 does not mean that Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji was not united with the government when he was questioning us. So let's get this unity part out. I mean, that's it's a no-brainer. So not having a debate is one problem we have with this today, with what happened today. Number 2, what he said, we have a problem with what he said. We also have a problem with what he did not say. I'll come to that. What he said legitimizes China's claim. The use of phrase differing perceptions of LAC is something which, I'm sorry, we do not agree with at all, because as far as the military maps of India are concerned, our LAC is clearly marked on the military maps. Therefore, accordingly, the military patrols those areas. Now, we wanted to ask Mr. Rajnath Singh कि रक्षा मंत्री जी ये बताइए कि अप्रैल में जहां पेट्रोलिंग होती थी फिंगर 8 तक, क्या आज हो रही है? Very simple question. Therefore, they want to avoid a debate. Now, what he did not say is also a problem. The use of phrase status quo ante is something which we were desperate to hear. Every Indian was desperate to hear. He avoided that. So I am only talking about facts as came out today from Raksha Mantri ji, what he said and what he did not say. Another thing, why was the Prime Minister not there? Prime Minister's presence would have sent a strong message to China. Prime Minister committed a huge blunder by giving the first clean chit in June to China by saying nobody has entered our territory. I can understand his apprehension to get into a debate. I can understand his fear of facing questions by the media and by the opposition. But Raksha Mantri should not have used the word differing perceptions of LSE.
Let's pick up on that one point. Let's take them one by one, Pavanji. Okay, GVL, would you like to respond to that? I'll take the first two issues and we can take up the third one a little later. The first issue is on why there was no debate. Shouldn't this have been a prime, very, very substantive issue that could have been debated in Parliament? That's what Parliament is for ultimately. And on the second point, which there has been a great deal of attention paid to, where Rajnath Singh talked about differing perceptions. Pavan Khera is right when he says there are Indian military maps. So as far as India is concerned, there is no differing perception. So there should be a quantifiable figure as far as what the encroachment really is about. You can answer those two questions.
No, Shiv, I think this is again a no-brainer. I think differing perceptions not from the Indian side. We know where the LAC exactly lies. We have no confusion about the LAC. Whereas China has its own claims. I think he was very forthright on defense minister clearly made the point. Even China claims Arunachal Pradesh to be there. It's not now. They've been claiming it for decades. And therefore, differing perceptions of LAC is not from the Indian side. So let there be no confusion. People have no confusion.
Okay.
Only the Congress party wants to revel in confusion. And Honorable Prime Minister is very much in Parliament. He knows what is happening in Parliament. He's not run away tens of thousands of miles only depending on Twitter. I think the opposition leader seems to be running away from questions that the government or the treasury benches could raise of them. Secondly, today's statement is a very comprehensive statement, and the most comprehensive, I think, in the last 3 months, ever since we've been discussing this issue. He has laid complete all the facts on the table, and he said beyond this, possibly it is not possible given the security considerations. So I think the people of the country are very happy with the way the government has handled this issue. They have complete trust and faith in the leadership of the government and the Prime Minister. They have complete trust and great pride in our armed forces.
Okay.
What they don't have is the trust of the opposition. So opposition today, their trust lay in tatters. They only make these nice noises of standing with the armed forces, but they do everything to really damage the morale of the armed forces on a daily basis, taking to Twitter, making very, very cheap comments, and only emboldening the enemy. Emboldening the enemy. They don't answer questions as to why they took money from China.
If you want, I can resort to rhetoric also, but I thought your debate had more factual...
Definitely no rhetoric. Pavan, quick response, and then I want to bring the soldier in on the view of whether there could have been a debate today on this issue. Yeah, Pavanji first.
My limited response is, our straight, simple question is, are we patrolling the same areas as we did before April 2020? Even if he says yes or no today, doesn't matter, because RM was not prepared to say that. Commit that to the Parliament today.
No, but Pavan Khera, permit me to ask one question. Has this become a bit of an ego issue as well? Because it has become a situation where the other... I take your point. You know, the point that you made, I accept completely when you say unity has nothing to do with questioning a government. I absolutely agree with you. But is there an element of, some kind of an ego issue that has built up within the Congress, where the priority is about scoring brownie points on what is clearly a fluid situation? You haven't named China, you haven't talked about Finger 8, you haven't talked about Finger 4, you haven't answered this question. It is a fluid situation. Is there an element of ego in this more than anything else?
Shiv, if enemy enters our territory, you cannot counter it by rhetoric. You measure the area, how much area has been captured by the enemy. Has he gone back? Has he gone back? What are we doing to push him back? That's the simple, factual, black and white situation when it comes to our territory. It's always measured. You can't say it's grey. It's not grey. As GVL said, that yes, our perception of LAC is absolutely fine. We are absolutely sure our perception is fine. We are worried about us giving a clean chit by RM could have said that China's perception of the LAC is a problem. RM said there is a differing perception. I'm sorry. We have to commit ourselves to this. That no, don't laugh. It's not a laughing matter. I mean, if you don't have answers, fine. I understand. But be serious in this discussion. And you have been a parliamentarian for a year now. You have experience.
GVL, I'll come to you. Let him finish.
Listen to me.
GVL,
Don't interrupt.
I think
anybody
who understands
anybody who
understands Hindi will have no difficulty.
Please ask him not to interrupt, because I can do the same, but we cannot be childish.
GVL, I'll give you time. Let him finish. Quickly make your point, Pavan.
Now,
don't speak like Rahul Gandhi, Pavan Khera.
Gosh, what is this nonsense? He's some juvenile here.
Quickly finish.
You are being imbecile with Rahul Gandhi.
Let's not
understand the different perceptions. Any common man,
GVL, let's keep this as substantive as possible.
Congress party has a problem.
What is this nonsense?
Because you seem to have a
GVL, please bear with me. Let me control this.
Then let him not use silly words.
Finish your point.
I can be
Pavanji, everyone calm down. There's enough tension on the borders. Pavanji, finish your point. I will get GVL to answer you, and then I'll go to General Aslan. Okay, yeah. Please ignore personal comments. Please.
Otherwise, I'm not coming on your show if you don't allow me to complete my sentence.
Please finish your point.
Now, there is a difference, Shiv, of China agreeing not to come any further and China agreeing to go back from where it has entered. Now, this is something which we need to discuss with the government. There is no ego here. This is something which every single Indian who is hurt by the sacrifices made by our army wants to know कि आप जहां अब तक आ चुके हो वहां से पीछे कब जाओगे, आप आगे आओगे या नहीं आओगे, future governments to decide. आप अभी कहां हो और कब पीछे जाओगे is what we need to know.
Pavan Khera,
और वो डिबेट के बगैर नहीं हो सकता.
I understand the question.
Wait, अगर नेहरू जी डिबेट कर सकते थे अटल जी से बीच वॉर के,
I am simply
ये रक्षा
asking.
मंत्री और मोदी क्यों नहीं बहस?
I'll let you answer, GVL. As a defense correspondent, and I am happy to be corrected. I'm happy to be corrected. I'm happy to be corrected on this issue. But Pavan Khera, this is a fluid situation where the two countries have been talking at the political level and the military level for many months now. It is an evolving situation. How can the opposition expect to be briefed at every step?
Also a fluid situation?
No, I get what you're saying. I am simply saying that is the Congress being mealy-mouthed about a developing situation, sir? Is the priority about engaging with China on this, or is it about briefing the opposition?
वॉर था या नहीं था 1962 का जब संसद का विशेष सत्र बुलाया गया?
Whether a debate should have happened is a separate issue. I agree with you on that. I am saying that the opposition is expecting to be briefed at every step in what is clearly an escalating and evolving issue. That is my point. That is the point I'm trying to make.
My point is, if 1962 could be an open house special emergency session in the middle of the war, why can't you have a debate on a simple topic?
I don't think we should be comparing 1962 at all. It should not be a bedrock of any kind of... It should not be a touchstone for India at all, because there was nothing that India did in 1962 that was right. But okay. No, but I'm sorry. I hope 1962 is never a political touchstone of any kind for India. 1962 cannot be a political touchstone for India by any measure, military or political, sir. Let's not know. I'm sorry. 1962 is not a great example. 1962 is not a great example, Pavanji. You know that.
Why not?
Even you know that. No, I'm sorry. Because no, I'm sorry. 1962 is not a great example. GVL, quick answer. I want to get General Aslan in.
Yes.
और मैं अब GVL नरसिम्हा को बोलने नहीं दूंगा अगर आप मेरा ऑडियो.
I will give you time, Pavanji. Come on, you know I'm fair. I don't take sides here. I will give you time. I will control everyone.
This man here kept interrupting, and I will not allow him to.
No.
Pavanji, you are better than that. Pavanji, come on.
I'm glad you realize that I'm better than GVL.
I didn't say you're better than GVL. I said you're better than getting petty about talking. I controlled him. Let him have an answer. Let him have an answer. Then I will get General Hasnain in. Quick answer.
No, he was allowed by
which has handled, which has ceded 38,000 square kilometers of land. No, why did
the Communist Party of China?
Please shut up. Please have. I quiet when you ask me to keep quiet. At least it's high time you keep quiet. No, why your leader has run away? What are you fighting for? Your Rahul Gandhi has run away.
We want to expose the links, the underground links of your government.
I think still you have to lower his feeder. Otherwise,
with the deep state of China.
I am just going to say something.
आप लोग चीन के
No, no.
गुलाम और एजेंट
Pawan Khera, Pawan Khera. Pawan Khera, this is counterproductive, sir. This is counter. I mean, GVL, you interrupted him, so he's interrupting you back, and he's not going to let you talk. Just for a moment, let me. Okay, I think we're even. GVL and Pawan, we're even now. One second. Let me play the. I am the anchor and the interlocutor. Let me appeal for this. Let me. I'm drawing the line of actual control between both of you. One second.
Where is Rahul Gandhi hiding?
Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Let me. Pawanji. GVL. One second. Okay, let me bring the soldier in. Faders down, I'm going to come back to the both of you. General Hasnain, apologies for coming to you so late. I'm not going to expect you to comment on the tutu meme that goes on. Okay, I want to simply ask you this, sir, as a former commander and a soldier and a veteran, is do you think that Rajnath Singh's statement in Parliament today should have been a comprehensive debate, or do you think, as a military person, I'm just asking for the view of what soldiers and officers on the ground would have thought, was that statement sufficient, or do you think it should have been debated with very specific questions asked and answered? Or was that not necessary?
Okay. Thank you, Shiv. Thank you for bringing me in. And I think that's a very pertinent question, which doesn't need any political angle to answer at all. You see, 1962 was a very different situation. Right? 58 years ago, the world was very different. The world of information was very different. There was no such thing as information warfare. There was hardly an element of psychological warfare. And therefore, the domain was essentially that of the border, the war at the border and nothing else. Today, we are in a world of comprehensive warfare, all kinds of things. Right? Beyond what is happening in Ladakh, there is ample happening in different other environments all over the country. Yeah. The entire nation is involved in speculating about things. Therefore, even different to 1999. In 1999, very transparently, if you remember, we used to conduct our briefings, we used to have our events in the evening every day to tell the public as to what is going to happen. Even that has changed. You see, this situation today is such a nebulous situation that actually, if you give out information which is, which has not been fully examined, analyzed, and every piece of information, you cannot do it easily. You tend to actually play into the adversary's hand. And I always say that nebulous situations, ongoing situations, situations which are still panning out, should never be discussed in the public. I think Mr. Rajnath has gone to the extent, in fact, he's gone to very great extent to explain the environment, as I told you in my earlier intervention, that he has gone to a very detailed level of explaining the historicity of this entire thing. And coming down to the final bit on the ground, he has not named landmarks except in the case of Galwan, which was because of the incident which happened there. Yeah. Otherwise, he's not named anything. Now, two issues which have been debated here, if I can come into it. LAC. Perceptions of the LAC are different. There's no doubt about it. That is the whole conflict. And the China is insisting on not delineating the LAC, because that gives him an advantage. He tries to coerce us on that angle to make sure that our attention continues to remain focused on the Himalayas. That's number one. The two things, status quo ante. In case you start talking about status quo ante at the moment, let me tell you, it is the most awkward thing at this juncture, because we have also done certain actions. China has done certain actions without going into the detail of status quo ante. What is going to be advantageous to us? I would shudder to even debate that.
Okay. Comprehensive comment from a former commander. Pawanji, would you like to? Okay, GVL, you want to come in quickly? Then I'll get Pawanji to answer both.
No, I'm sorry. A comparison was made to 1962.
He hasn't yet apologized for his interruption.
Pawanji, come on. I mean, this is the people want to hear both of you separately. People want to hear both of you separately, Pawanji. This is being extremely petty. I'm sorry, this is being extremely petty.
No, he behaves like a teenager, and I won't tolerate that.
I mean, you're expecting an apology over a prime time debate, Pawanji. Come on.
Rubbish about Rahul Gandhi.
forget that. I mean,
I will counter it.
How dare you compare him with
Gujarat के मुख्यमंत्री
both of you are touchy about your leaders. We get that. Can we get over it and move on now?
Your leader is acting as a China mouthpiece. Rahul Gandhi is acting as a mouthpiece of China.
Okay, GVL, one second. GVL, give me a moment.
Your foundations have taken money from China. Shame on the Congress party.
GVL, one second. GVL, one second. Let me ask a question of Pavan. Let me ask a question. Okay. GVL silent for a moment. GVL silent for a moment. Pavanji, take my question, not GVL. Take my question. Pavanji, take my question, not GVL.
You have not lowered his feeder. Therefore, you cannot lower my feeder.
No faders down. I don't believe in putting faders down.
Let him speak.
I don't believe in faders down.
You can have a dialogue.
I don't believe in faders down, sir. I want to ask a question of Pavan Khera. Based on what, GVL, I am not putting any faders down. I simply want to ask a question that General Hasnain had made. A point that he had made. Pavan Khera, you've got a former military commander saying, stop talking about 1962. That was a very different year. It is awkward if you give out too much information at this time. It's a fluid situation, status quo anti-perceptions. He's debunked everything the Congress is talking about. He's talking about everything you're talking about. The military commander here on the panel has debunked everything the Congress has just talked about, sir.
यही सिचुएशन थोड़ी बहुत आई थी तो अरुण जेटली जी ओपनली हमसे पूछते थे, हम जवाब देते थे। 2013 और 2020 में क्या इतना अंतर आ गया है that they can't have a debate? I remember
we are nationalists.
The opposition into confidence. Oh, you GVL, you don't talk about it. You come underprepared. And you have no idea what you're talking about, so you keep out of it. You keep out of it. You keep out of it. All that you know is Nehruji and Rahul Gandhi. Beyond
I'm
that,
not going to be able to appeal to the sensibilities of both of you.
You really don't know how to talk. You don't know how to talk. You don't know Sea of China. आपकी RSS जो गुलामी करती है, आपकी RSS जो चीन की कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी से मिली हुई है, उसके बारे में बताइए, उस दिन बात करिएगा। आप तो बोलिए मत। आप तो बोलिए मत। नेहरू जी के जूते के बराबर है नहीं नरेंद्र मोदी जी। उनसे
General Hasnain, gentlemen, you know, I don't know how General Hasnain feels. I don't think he's used to this kind of thing. I want to say,
we have the legacy.
I just want to say, General Hasnain, this is not a debate about Rahul Gandhi or Modi or Prime Minister Modi. Pavan Khera, just peace, gentlemen. Okay, you know, you both had it out. Now let's just move on to the next point. General Hasnain has made four sensitive points.
I'll finish it.
No, please. That's between the both of you. You can take it off the channel.
If he insults Rahul Gandhi, I'll make sure I expose.
This is not about Rahul Gandhi. This is not about Rahul Gandhi. This is not about Rahul Gandhi. You said Modi was not in parliament. You said Rahul Gandhi is not there. Come on, gentlemen. Come on, gentlemen. Come on. This is. Can we not? Let's not. Let's not. GVL. I need to make. I need one of you to be reasonable with me.
China
where is Rahul Gandhi hiding?
I want to.
Why is he
क्यों
not attending parliament?
हम वो expose करेंगे.
Why did
हम भी
Rahul
expose
Gandhi
करेंगे बहुत अच्छी तरह से.
Gentlemen, I'm going to come right back.
मुख्यमंत्री थे गुजरात के.
I'm going to come right back. Why will the politicians fight? You know, ladies and gentlemen, viewers of India Today, I want to tell you. I want to show you a picture now. Because the politicians will continue to fight. There may be justifiable reasons for the fight. A debate has not happened. But I want to keep the focus on the substantive issue. And that's why, gentlemen, stay with me. I want to show the three of you and all of our viewers all across India and the world what's happening in Ladakh at this time. Because while there is this political churn over what Rajnath Singh said, China is preparing for the long haul. India is preparing for the long haul as well. India is engaged in countering the build-up to. Here is a report from the Leh Air Base where India Today was permitted access to show you what India's war machine really looks like when it's rumbling. With India and China standing eyeball to eyeball in Ladakh, the Indian Army is preparing for the long haul. Forces are stocking up essentials in advance for troops deployed on the front lines. India today got exclusive access to the Leh Air Base, where this huge C-17 Globemaster III is dropping off supplies for troops.
What we are witnessing right now is an extremely important operation that is taking place to ensure that troops deployed in forward areas where there is friction over the last 4 months between the Indian and the Chinese armies keep getting a steady supply of all important material, be it ration, be it medicine, be it gear that will sustain them even in the peak harsh winter at heights more than 15,000 feet.
The Indian Army is deployed in the world's most hostile border region along the line of actual control. These are inhospitable terrains and the temperatures drop to as low as -40 degrees Celsius in winter. Which is why the troops need warm clothing, Arctic tents and heating devices to sustain while guarding our borders.
These are all the essential items that have just been transported, airdropped. Very important, what we can see here are Arctic tents. Look at this. It says Arctic tents. These are special tents meant for the troops in high altitude areas, in the forward locations. These are locations at more than 15,000 feet. Winter is approaching. It's very important for the troops to have all gear and equipment that will allow them to sustain. What we can also see here is these are portable kerosene heaters, again extremely important for sustaining the peak winter.
It isn't just this C-17 Globemaster. The all-powerful Chinooks of the Indian Air Force are also involved in logistics operations to the front lines. The Indian Air Force is assisting the Army to ensure troops face no shortage in the upcoming winter.
That's the inside of the helicopter Chinook. I'll just get inside and give you a very clear look of how the material has been brought in. Again, big cartons of all essential items required, especially during the winter. A very clear look, and all of this will be loaded in some time. The Fire and Fury Corps is the only formation of the Indian Army which is entirely deployed in high altitude areas north of the Great Himalayan Range. We pride ourselves as being the prima donna for war fighting in high altitude area. The Indian Air Force plays a pivotal role here and has tremendously assisted in the speedy induction of troops over the past few months.
The synergy between the Indian Army and the Indian Air Force is exemplified by the quick mobility of men and material in these mountainous terrain, and the follow-up with the commodities, essential commodities and food supplies for the sustenance of the soldiers in forward areas.
It's not just essentials and other equipment, fuel is also being stocked up. Oil companies are supplying fuel to the Indian Army for uninterrupted movement of their vehicles and armory. Ladakh is on edge. Sorties by fighters like these Sukhois has become a common sight. The message to China is clear. India wants peace, but is battle ready. There will be no compromise on India's territorial integrity.
There is heightened air activity in Ladakh over the last few days, be it fighter jets of the Indian Air Force carrying out air combat patrols or transport aircraft carrying crucial logistics to the forward areas. There is a complete synergy between the Indian Army and the Indian Air Force to make sure troops deployed in forward areas are battle ready at all times. With camera person Satya, Abhishek Bhalla in Ladakh for India Today.
Pawan Khera, I hope we don't hear the words Rahul Gandhi or anything else for the short duration that we have left on this debate. But you've just heard General Hasnain speak specifically about some of those points you raised. He's an apolitical former military commander who says that some of the specifics that the Congress appears to be demanding, it is difficult and probably best that they are not enunciated during a debate at this time. That's a substantive answer to the point you raised.
with absolute respect to General Sahab, 2013, we had incursions. UPA was in power. They went to the Rashtrapati Bhavan, the then opposition, which was the BJP, demanding answers. We called them. We gave them answers. They were satisfied. We also took their advice, their inputs. Jaitley ji and Sushma ji were
There was an
leaders
all-party
of
meet
both the
this
houses,
time as well, Pavanji.
Sir, you're talking about one all-party meet. I'm talking about every second day we would interact with Mr. Jaitley and Ms. Sushma Swaraj. That's the way a country is governed. That's the way doubts are addressed. Not like this, that Rahul Gandhi kahan chala gaya, Nehru ji ne ye kiya, Nehru ji ne wo kiya. That's why I'm saying they have no idea how to govern the country.
Okay.
We are not comparing 1962. Agar compare karna hai to karte hain.
GVL, okay.
You sent our.
This is already a very vitiated atmosphere. Let me get an answer on that, Pavanji, because we have limited time. GVL, the question is that there have been occasions in the past, in recent years, 6-7 years ago, during the Depsang crisis, which I reported extensively, when leaders of the opposition were briefed on an almost daily basis, says Pavan Khera. Why can't that be happening right now? Even though the mood is much more escalatory in nature right now between the government and the opposition.
No, Shiv, I think what you have actually reported in 2013, a report submitted by Mr. Shyam Saran, the then NASAB chairman, and there was a discussion in Parliament on this, and
where it was completely denied. There was a huge cover-up.
No. I have that entire parliamentary proceedings.
Yeah.
This is what Mr. A.K. Anthony reported. He said the what has been reported in the media is not a part of this report, a particular report. And Mr. Shyam Saran said, I have not officially submitted the details that appeared in the media. So it's not that those incidents did not happen.
Of course
he did not observe anything, but he claimed this was not an official report.
And lying red-handed last week, and therefore he's coming up with this silly explanation. He misquoted Shyam Saran's report. Shyam Saran had not mentioned this. Now he is covering up. He was caught lying twice by me on your channel. Now therefore, now he's suddenly bringing Shyam Saran. Shyam Saran has contested. He still contests that. So आप लोग बार-बार झूठ बोलते हुए पकड़े जाते हैं. फिर शर्म आ जाती है.
Let me just say that I stand by my report.
Shyam Saran ने नहीं, किसी और ने कहा.
Whoever else has denied what they've claimed, I will stand by my report.
Shyam Saran did not say, he did not find it. He only said it's
so you
not
were lying and you got caught.
This official report.
No. If the report carries my, let me be very clear. If the report carries my name, it's 100% factual and correct. Whoever else can deny whether they've written something in a report is different. If the report has Shiv Arur on it, it's correct. Simple.
आपने श्याम सरन जी जैसे सीनियर आदमी के नाम पर झूठ बोला. You lied. You have been getting caught lying red-handed every week. Every week you lie on television.
I was hoping it would not come down to this, but we're out of time now.
It's a very vast program. आप शिव अरूर जी के प्रोग्राम में भी झूठ बोल देते हैं.
Gentlemen,
आप तो इतना झूठ बोलते हैं कि आपको शर्म भी नहीं आती. अब क्या करें आपके साथ?
I'm completely out of time.
हम भी आप
GVL Narasimha Rao, Pavan Khera, General Ata Hasnain. I apologize that so much of this debate has gone into this slanging match. I was hoping that 2 or 3 more substantive issues could have been discussed threadbare, but unfortunately, that is the atmosphere, that is the nature of the conversation at this time. Respect all of you, fond of all of you. Thank you for being with me here on Newstrack. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Quick break here on the other side here. Coming up, explosive details about Sushant Singh Rajput's Pavana farmhouse. Top actors, drugs and parties. The Narcotics Control Bureau in its probe has unearthed a toxic cocktail surrounding Sushant Singh Rajput. At the center of it is the actor's Pavana lake house. A statement to the NCB reveals that Sara Ali Khan, Shraddha Kapoor, along with Riya Chakravarti, would accompany Sushant to that farmhouse. What would happen there? Arvind Ojha reports.
A plush lake house retreat or a den for drugs. Sushant Singh Rajput's Pavana farmhouse that he used to rent for 2.5 lakh rupees per month is now under the scanner of the Narcotics Control Bureau that is probing the drug link to the actor's death. Visited by Sushant and his friends from Bollywood, this farmhouse saw several parties where alcohol flowed freely and everyone allegedly smoked marijuana. India Today has accessed crucial statements with the Narcotics Bureau that reveal what exactly happened at this Pavana lake house. The area that's next to the Pavana Dam also has several small islands scattered around. Jagdish Gopinath would often ferry Sushant and his famous friends on his motorboat. Jagdish's statement to the NCB that has exclusively been accessed by India Today names top actors. The NCB statement says Sushant would often spend hours on the Pavana Islands with Riya. Not just that, Sushant's co-stars Sara Ali Khan and Shraddha Kapoor would also visit the lake house. While Sara visited the place 3 or 4 times, Shraddha visited just once. The boatman's statement to the NCB says that Sushant and Sara would enjoy rides on the Pavana Dam and then party on the neighboring island. The parties that would always include alcohol and marijuana. Drugs would also be consumed by Sushant's staff that included Siddharth Pitani, Samuel Miranda, Dipesh Sawant and Riya's brother Shauvik.
नारकोटिक्स कंट्रोल ब्यूरो का कहना है कि उनके पास तो 3 नाम है, सारा अली खान, रकुल प्रीत और सिमोन खंबाटा। उनको बहुत जल्द सम्मन करेंगे, लेकिन फिलहाल जिस तरह से नारकोटिक्स कंट्रोल ब्यूरो की टीम की जांच, जहां इस वक्त इंडिया टुडे की टीम मौजूद है, सुशांत का फार्म हाउस यहीं पर है और यहीं पर वो आइलैंड है जिस पर अब नजर है नारकोटिक्स कंट्रोल ब्यूरो की।
More proof of drug use at the lake house are these images from inside. Hookahs, bongs, ashtrays and medicines all have been recovered by the Narcotics Control Bureau. A heady cocktail of fame, money, drugs and parties. A sinister web surrounding Sushant Singh Rajput's death is now unraveling. With Arvind Ojha, Bureau Report, India Today.
That's it on News Track. Thanks very much for watching. Coming up next, it's News Today with Rajdeep.